Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 6. The measure of a man is not how many roles he plays, but how many hearts he touches. For more than 4 decades, Greene quietly touched hearts across screens and stages around the world. Known for his Oscar-nominated performance as the wise and compassionate Kicking Bird in Dances with Wolves, Greene brought deep humanity to every role. Whether in Thunderheart, The Green Mile, or Wind River, he carried stories with grace and authenticity, often giving voice to those long unheard. Born into the Oneida Nation in Ontario, Greene's path was anything but typical. He started as a draftsman, welder, and carpenter, then turned audio technician, before discovering a calling in acting. His early years on theater stages in Toronto and England laid the foundation for a rich and varied career. He became a powerful presence on camera and a beloved figure behind the scenes. From action films to quiet dramas, he portrayed warriors, judges, fathers, and healers, always with dignity and depth. His work helped shift how Indigenous peoples are portrayed in film and how audiences understand them. His achievements speak volumes. In addition to his Academy Award nomination, he earned Gemini and Canadian Screen Awards, a Grammy, and the Governor-General's Performing Arts Award. These honors reflect not only talent, but the breadth of his contribution to the arts. Off-screen, Greene was a mentor and advocate. He supported Indigenous theater programs, guided young talent, and lent his wisdom to a growing movement of First Nations artists, shaping their own narratives in mainstream media. Greene passed away peacefully at 73, following a brief illness. The news left many in shock, but also filled with gratitude for what he gave. The Governor-General's office called him a force who transformed how First Nations stories are told on screen. Through quiet moments and commanding performances, Greene showed what true artistry looks like: generous, grounded, and full of meaning. Though he may be gone, his voice remains, in film, in memory, and in the stories he helped shape. Tributes to Greene. Number 5. You can't lead people unless you love people. It's a quote George Raveling believed deeply and lived every day. At 88, George passed away peacefully on September 1st, 2025, leaving behind a remarkable legacy that reached far beyond basketball. A visionary coach, educator, and global mentor, George inspired generations with his boldness, compassion, and lifelong pursuit of progress. He began as a standout player at Villanova, collecting over 800 rebounds and launching a career that would span decades. As head coach at Washington State, Iowa, and USC, he led teams to success while opening doors for others, often as one of the few black leaders in Division I men's basketball at the time. George tallied over 330 career wins, served as an Olympic assistant coach, and earned a spot in the Basketball Hall of Fame. But his victories weren't just on the court. As a Nike executive, he shaped international basketball and mentored rising stars both on and off the hardwood. A moment that defined his deeper mission came in 1963, when he stood behind Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the March on Washington. King handed him the original "I Have a Dream" speech manuscript, entrusting George not only with paper, but with purpose. Years later, he passed that trust on to Villanova, ensuring its safe legacy. George's impact never relied on flash. It came in his quiet strength, fierce advocacy for equality, and limitless belief in people. He challenged the sports world to be more inclusive, more reflective, and more humane. He also wrote, broadcasted, and advised national basketball organizations, always leading with curiosity and generosity. His presence lifted others. Following his passing, Villanova shared, "Coach Raveling was a mentor to me and everyone in our Villanova basketball family. He was one of the most loyal and grateful Villanova alums of all time. George Raveling leaves behind a legacy not just of wins, but of lives changed. His leadership, wisdom, and courage continue to echo in locker rooms, classrooms, boardrooms, and beyond." Tributes to George Raveling. Number 4. It's not immortality that matters, she once said, but the ways in which we touch other lives. Chelsea Quinn Yarbro did just that, through the power of her words, her generosity, and an unmatched passion for storytelling. She passed away peacefully at the age of 82, leaving a literary legacy that reshaped horror and speculative fiction. Her Count Saint-Germain series, a masterclass in historical depth and emotional nuance, changed how we view the vampire, not as a monster but as a witness to centuries of human experience. Through over 70 novels, Yarbro brought history to life with painstaking research and a rich imagination. Her dedication was legendary. 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, for more than 4 decades. That rhythm of discipline fueled a body of work that influenced readers and writers across the world. She didn't just build characters, she built communities. Yarbro mentored emerging voices, shared wisdom in lectures, and kept up a thoughtful connection to fans through her newsletter. She gave her time freely, always eager to lift others with knowledge and kindness. Accolades followed. Grand Master of Horror, Bram Stoker Lifetime Achievement Award, a World Fantasy Award for Life Achievement, but she never wrote for trophies. She wrote to explore, to question, and to reveal the endless tapestry of human history through the lens of the fantastic. Her talents stretched beyond the page. She was also a musician, a composer, and a mapmaker, always creating, always imagining new forms and new worlds. Following her passing, tributes poured in. The Horror Writers Association said, "Her work changed the conversation about horror and will continue to influence writers for years to come." That sentiment echoed everywhere, from fellow authors to lifelong readers. Though she had no children, her stories, her characters, and her generous spirit live on. A true literary family left in her wake. Chelsea Quinn Yarbro's loss is profound, but her voice endures in every page, every scene, every carefully chosen word. Tributes to Chelsea Quinn Yarbro. Number 3. Scott always made you feel like you were part of something exciting, because with him, you were. That's how Bruce Campbell remembered his dear friend, a man who inspired, collaborated, and created some of horror's most iconic moments. Scott Spiegel, who passed away at 67, left behind more than stories. He left a legacy of creative energy that spanned generations and genres. From his early days in Michigan, shooting homemade movies with Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, Scott's imagination knew no limits. Together, they helped spark a horror revolution. His co-writing of Evil Dead 2 transformed the genre, blending fear with wit in ways few dared. Scott also directed the cult slasher classic Intruder, and the action-packed From Dusk Till Dawn 2. Through his production company Raw Nerve, he executive produced Hostel and its sequel, launching a bold new era of horror with Eli Roth. But beyond the films, Scott was known for his generosity. He wasn't just behind the camera. He was behind the scenes lifting others up. He introduced Quentin Tarantino to producer Lawrence Bender, a simple act that led to the birth of Reservoir Dogs and a new filmmaking wave. Even as a character actor and cameo king, popping up in the Spider-Man trilogy and other Raimi films, Scott brought a sense of fun and family to every set. His innovative camera techniques and hands-on spirit made every project feel alive. A beloved figure in the tight-knit Michigan filmmaking community, Scott helped turn friendships into film history. His kindness, mentorship, and go-for-it attitude inspired everyone, from aspiring creators to household names. He passed away peacefully, surrounded by those who loved him after a brief illness. To his family, friends, and the many he mentored, Scott Spiegel leaves behind not just movies but memories brimming with joy, risk, and creativity. His life was a story, funny, scary, generous, and full of possibility. The horror world, and the film world at large, won't forget how he made us feel, thrilled, challenged, and part of something truly original. Tributes to Scott Spiegel. Number 2, he radiated quiet strength, a man whose calm demeanor masked a tireless determination to make the world safer, especially for Maine's children. Bill Diamond brought light to places long overlooked. He spent decades in public service not for accolades, but because he truly cared. Bill passed away at 80, surrounded by the legacy of a life devoted to others. He died peacefully after a period of illness, leaving Maine a better, safer place. First a teacher, then a principal and superintendent, Bill's roots were always in education. He believed in guiding kids not just through books, but through compassion and protection. His 18 years in education shaped his every decision in public office. When he entered government in the late 1970s, Bill didn't just fill a seat, he went to work. He served in both the Maine House and Senate and was elected Senate President. As Secretary of State from 1989 to 1997, he navigated partisan politics with fairness and focus. His leadership earned him praise across party lines. Among his greatest contributions came late in life. In 2023, disturbed by repeated failures in Maine's child welfare system, Bill founded Walk a Mile in Their Shoes. This nonprofit shined a painful but necessary light on the abuse and neglect of children in state care. For Bill, it wasn't just politics. It was personal. He demanded accountability where it mattered most. His efforts sparked real change. Policymakers listened. Communities awakened. Those who knew him speak of his steady presence and fierce heart. He challenged systems, not people. Even in disagreement, Bill led with gentleness, respect, and resolve. Senate President Matty Daughtry shared, "His passing leaves a void in our state. My thoughts and prayers are with his family, especially his wife Jane." Former Senate President Rick Bennett called him a true public servant, with unwavering commitment to what is right. Bill Diamond is survived by Jane, his beloved wife, and a state that will continue to feel his guidance for years to come. He may be gone, but the causes he championed and the lives he touched now carry his spirit forward. Bill changed Maine quietly, powerfully, and forever. Tributes to Bill Diamond. What's trending on the internet? News 1. What began as a sunny afternoon at Flagstaff Lake in Eustis, Maine turned heartbreaking for several families this weekend. Farhana Nasir, age 53 of Selden, and Kiran Akbar, age 23 of Lake Grove, both from Long Island, New York, were enjoying a day on the water with friends and family when their pontoon boat suddenly capsized. 7 people were tossed into the lake, and although nearby witnesses rushed to help, performing CPR and bringing everyone to shore, Farhana and Kieran could not be revived. A third young woman, 22-year-old Noor Nasser, remains in critical condition. Authorities report no life jackets were worn, and there's no evidence that alcohol played a role. While our hearts ache for those affected by this tragedy, the community's immediate and selfless response is a poignant reminder of the compassion people show in times of need. Today we hold Farhana and Kieran in our thoughts for the joy and warmth they brought to loved ones, and we wish Noor a safe and speedy recovery. May their lives be remembered for the connections and laughter they shared, and may this story encourage us all to look out for each other, on and off the water. News 2. What started as a festive day in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania turned serious when a red minivan drove through the Kipona Festival crowd on Labor Day. Among those injured were a 6-year-old boy, a woman in a wheelchair, and a dedicated city worker, each taken to the hospital, with the young boy in critical condition and the adults recovering steadily. The Kipona Festival, known for celebrating local heritage and community spirit, was winding down when this unexpected event occurred. Police acted quickly, following the van for several blocks before bringing it to a stop and taking the driver into custody. As neighbors come together, the community's resilience shines through, reminding us how important it is to look out for one another, especially in times of need. Harrisburg's strength, compassion, and unity will be what folks remember most from this Labor Day, as they rally together and wish for a swift recovery for everyone affected. News 3. It was a Friday afternoon in Missouri, and a school bus from Olivet Baptist Church in Westwood, Kansas, was carrying nearly 30 students, mostly teens from Shawnee Mission Christian School, on their way to St. Joseph for athletic games. Suddenly, a tire blew out, and then another, causing the bus to lose control, veer off Interstate 29, and overturn in a ditch just outside Fawcett. 8 students, ranging from ages 12 to 16, and a 44-year-old woman were injured in the crash. 2 students, one 16-year-old boy and one 15-year-old girl, suffered more serious injuries, while the others, along with the adult, had only minor or moderate injuries. Quick action by emergency responders got everyone safely to good care, and most importantly, all the injuries were non-life-threatening. By evening, some of the students were already returning home, greeted by relieved families and their supportive church community. Local pastors expressed deep gratitude that everyone would recover, emphasizing just how close-knit and caring this group is. Moments like these remind us of the strength and resilience found in community, where support, faith, and togetherness turn a frightening day into a story of hope and healing. The students, staff, and families from Shawnee Mission Christian School and Olivet Baptist Church can take immense pride in facing adversity together and looking ahead with optimism. News 4. An entire community in San Antonio, Texas is coming together after a devastating event. Over the weekend, as storms passed through the area, a man and a woman tragically lost their lives when Salado Creek quickly overflowed in the heavy rain. This happened on August 31st, as a line of thunderstorms swept across Texas, turning a familiar neighborhood creek into a dangerous torrent in just minutes. Emergency responders acted swiftly, but the power of flash flooding can catch even the most prepared off guard. For many in the city, this event serves as a gentle reminder to always take weather alerts seriously and to check on neighbors, especially when storms intensify so quickly. While we grieve these losses, San Antonio's resilient spirit shines through. Community members are rallying to support those affected, offering comfort, sharing memories, and looking out for one another. The lives lost will be remembered not just for this tragic moment, but for the love and kindness they shared in their community. Let's hold those families close in our hearts and honor their memory by taking care of each other, rain or shine. News 5. What an amazing story of adventure and the incredible spirit found in the world of skydiving. Many will remember 2021 as a year when the skydiving community reached a remarkable safety milestone, recording the lowest number of civilian fatalities in United States history. Among these passionate adventurers was a 76-year-old skydiver with an astounding 45-year record in the sport and over 20,000 jumps under his belt. A true testament to a life lived with courage, skill, and dedication. His last jump, part of a group formation, serves as a gentle reminder of both the thrills and challenges of this extraordinary sport. While his loss was felt by friends and fellow skydivers alike, he is remembered for his joyful embrace of life and for inspiring so many to push boundaries and seek out new heights. Today, we celebrate the legacy of everyone who lives boldly and remind ourselves of the importance of community, joy, and remembering those who lift our spirits higher. News 6. What a memorable night for movie fans and The Rock himself. Dwayne Johnson, at age 53, truly turned heads on the red carpet at this year's Venice Film Festival, stepping out alongside his co-star Emily Blunt for the much-anticipated premiere of The Smashing Machine. Johnson looked slimmer than ever and certainly dressed the part, earning plenty of compliments for his stylish, perfectly tailored look. But it was the emotional highlight of the evening that stole everyone's hearts. Dwayne was visibly moved, even shedding a few tears, as the audience sprang to their feet in a heartfelt standing ovation. With award season already buzzing, it's clear The Rock's dedication and charisma continue to inspire us all. Whether he's wrestling in the ring, lighting up the big screen, or humbly accepting applause, Dwayne Johnson remains a beloved figure who shows us the power of hard work and gratitude. News 7. Sometimes stories remind us just how precious each moment truly is. On a quiet Sunday morning in Fort Morgan, Colorado, two small planes, a Cessna 172 and an extra Flugzeugbau EA-300, were coming into land at the town's municipal airport. While skies above Fort Morgan are typically peaceful, this day turned somber as the aircraft collided mid-air, leading to the loss of one life and leaving 3 others with injuries. First responders rushed to the scene, their dedication shining as they quickly tended to the survivors and worked to control the aftermath. The strength and support shown by the local community is a testament to the close-knit spirit so many of us remember from growing up in small towns. Aviation officials are now looking into the cause, working diligently to make the skies safer for everyone. Though this tragedy weighs on our hearts, Fort Morgan's remarkable community resilience offers hope and comfort. In times like these, we are reminded to cherish loved ones and honor the quiet heroes, both in the air and on the ground, who care for us all. Number 1. David was as close to the human embodiment of IMAX as there has ever been. Relentless in his drive to deliver awe-inspiring images. These words from IMAX capture the spirit of David Keeley, whose lifelong devotion to the cinematic experience changed how the world watches movies. He passed away peacefully at the age of 77, leaving behind a legacy that continues to shine bright on giant screens everywhere. David didn't just love film, he lived it. That passion began in Toronto when he and his wife Patricia saw their first IMAX film. It wasn't just a movie, it was a revelation. From that moment, he committed his career to expanding and perfecting that sense of awe for audiences across the globe. Over 5 decades, David helped transform IMAX from a niche format used for educational films into a powerhouse of Hollywood storytelling. Movies like The Dark Knight and Tenet reached new levels of immersion thanks to his expert touch. As Chief Quality Officer at IMAX, he supervised more than 500 releases, each one crafted with care, precision, and a deep respect for both the filmmakers and their audiences. He was a quiet force behind the giant screen, a humble innovator, trusted advisor, and generous mentor. Whether he was helping directors perfect their visuals or guiding upcoming industry professionals, David led with integrity and kindness. He was honored many times, including by the Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers and the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Yet David never sought credit. For him, the reward was in the reaction, a gasp, a wide-eyed smile, or the silence of a breath held in awe. Those who worked with David often describe him as approachable, patient, and endlessly passionate. Director Christopher Nolan repeatedly turned to David's unmatched knowledge to ensure that films reached their highest visual potential in IMAX format. David is survived by his beloved wife and professional partner, Patricia. Together, they formed a team that shaped how stories are told on the biggest screens. His passing is a tremendous loss, felt deeply by colleagues, collaborators, and audiences worldwide. But every time the lights dim and the screen comes alive, a piece of David's vision lives on. Tributes to David Keeley. There was always a fire in his rhythms, like he was drumming for the future. Ray Mayhew, the original drummer of the iconic new wave band Sigue Sigue Sputnik,